Well, I hear the Kilpatricks have a quiver full -1. That's 4. And so I know my children, my son has 3 children, 2 years apart, and my daughter has 3 children. I said the right?
3 years apart.
3 years apart.
Okay.
And so I know you guys got 4 and you're young. So how do you balance the children and family and job? I think you've been going to school. So how do you all handle all that with the children?
It's definitely hard. It's definitely challenging. We do have 4, big age range. Our oldest is 11 and the youngest is 1. So, yeah. Yeah, so we've been pretty much
You got a babysitter? Not yet.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But we've been we've pretty much had kids our whole adulthood. We were still in college when we had our first one. So that was a huge transition all in itself during our first one. But over the years, I think just making sure that, we both take a part in, bringing them up, and even in the household. He's a very active father. I can never take that away from him. So I know most of the time if I'm out, somebody be like, where the kids? I'm like, they have a father. They're with their father. So I get that a lot, but he's very hands-on, which is good. I think we communicate pretty good with them in kind of different roles and what they do. Like, he'll help get them dressed and things. I haven't gotten to comb any hair yet, so that's still
well, I used to. Jade, the oldest.
Working on. But I think just making sure we work as a team and all on the same page with what they're doing and different schedules and like that, especially with those small 2, the 2 and 1 year old, they really came and shook some things up.
They're different. They're different.
So when the last time you slept on, that's the question. All right.
Just working together, making sure we're on the same team and, dividing the work equally. Of course, I do most of the things because I'm at home more with them, but when he's at home, there's nothing like that he won't do with them, which is good. So I think just being on the same team and working together with the kids, pretty much.
I would say she's the glue. Honestly, if her, like, the whole dynamic of bringing the family together, like, because even though I feel like I am a very active father, I feel like I could still do more when it comes to that role. But I know Sierra, like, pretty much holds that glue together. Like, I could say, like, right now, what's the schedule or something like that, because she'll tell me, but I might forget. But she knows, like, okay, she has gymnastics this day, she has dances that you need to pick up, drop off, things like that. Or, I'm like, okay, you talk to the teachers, how they doing in school, things like that. It's always a revert back to her, even though, I still have that connection and I'm still, present. I know that Sierra holds pretty much everything together. Like, I know if she wasn't there holding it together, then I know it'll crumble.
Okay.
Yeah, and he will tell me, I know as far as affecting our relationship itself, he'll let me know, because I know a lot of times I'll be, I'm so focused on the kids and this and that, and I'm tired at the end of the day. He'll make sure he lets me know, like, okay, well,
what about me?
You got to figure some stuff out.
You got
to figure some stuff out. So just because you have the kids, that don't mean you can neglect your spouse. It was something that I kind of try to keep in my forefront. Because I know I used to say, it's easier for me to tell you can wait. I can't necessarily tell the kids that they can wait. So that's something I kind of had to shift in my head too, because it's not fair to him and it's not fair in the marriage too. So that's kind of something that I had to shift in my head myself, to try to make sure that I have time for everybody and that he's not feeling neglected, with his needs and his time with me too. So.
And then, I would say not only that, but the dynamic of, because how we were raised are completely different. How our households was completely different. So trying to implement how I was raised in my house as a kid versus how she was, or what I liked or what I didn't like versus what she liked or what she didn't like. So it's like, the expectation, like my oldest, I'll get on her and saying, okay, you should be doing this, you should be doing this. And Sierra's like, well, no, but remember, you said you hated that when your parents made you do that when a kid. So why are you trying to throw it on her?
Okay.
And it's like, but it taught me this, I hated it then, but now, but it's just those reminders, like, okay, because of how she was raised and how we discussed things prior, it's like, okay, don't revert back to, necessarily what, you saw as a kid when, you might not have agreed with, or even stuff that you have agreed with. It's like, you're different than what you're a boy compared to now you're raising 4 girls. Certain things, like my oldest right now, she's in that preteen. I'm like, you got an attitude with me when I just walk in the door. And it's like, Sierra, you better talk to her, And so, but it's like the whole dynamic, because she was a girl. So she went through those preteen years and she understands, so she have a lot more patience with it. Like, no, leave her alone. And I'm like, well, no, she's still my kid, and I feel like you should do this, that, and the other. Yeah.
Well, I think that one important thing that you said is understanding each other's backgrounds, because where we came from, the parenting styles that we came from, that makes a big difference in terms of even just parenting styles in our own household. So I'm glad that you guys really brought that up, because even as couples are dating with one another, that's something they really need to delve into, is to find out more about each other's style. Where did you come from? What was your discipline style? What do you like? What did your parents do? I think that's really important. So I really appreciate you guys sharing that honest feedback with us too. So thank you so much.